So I'm going to be recasting the old school. So the characters I'll be recasting someone to play Mitch, who was played by Lukewilson. I'll be
Mm-hmm.
recasting someone to play Beanie, who was played by Vince Vaughn. I'll be
Yep.
recasting someone to play willferrell, who played Frank the Tank. Then I'll recast someone who played Jeremy Piven's character, who was
The
Pritchard. They just
Dean,
have like the Dean Pritchard or whatever.
Dean Pritchard. Yep.
And then I think I might recast Juliet Lewis's character, right, for
Okay.
fun, you know, and then also maybe Craig Kilborn's character
Ooh, okay. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, actually Kilborn's character is pretty he's not in it
because he was like
much.
the dickhead that
He's
was
a real
cheating on. Yeah,
scumbag though. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
dude. That I mean, yeah. And then I will keep Leah Remini because goddamn, Leah, she's got that like Italian mean hot. Oh, I love it. Fucking love it, daddy.
And
Oh,
listen, I think if we can agree on one thing, there's no recasting of blue, right? Blue
no,
is blue.
blue stays.
Blue is
Yeah.
blue. Blue stays.
I don't know. I mean, I could put some B-level guys in there to recast some of them,
No
but
one's no, it's not worth it.
no.
No one's gonna blue like blue did.
So, okay.
All
So,
right,
are you
take it
ready for
away.
my recasting? Yeah.
Yeah, take it away.
So, here's what I got. So, my first thought to recast Frank the Tank, I have as Stavros, right? Stavros,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Because he's like
Okay.
a big party guy, big high energy party guy, and I think he could do it. You know what I mean? Like he's a vibes guy, big high energy, and he's a fun guy that can sell the lines. Like I really think he could fill in there. Then I have a sleeper guy who
Well,
he kind of when I was researching this, he kind of fell into my lap. So there,
real quick for Stavros, like he can also have that kind of calm, like, oh, we're gonna go to, Bed Bath and Beyond tomorrow, and,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Home Depot if we have the
He can
time. You
play
know what I
like
mean? Like,
yeah. He can be like the guy he has to be is like the guy who he's a changed man, but
yeah,
then we want him to revert back to Frank the Tank.
yeah, but he's not really a changed man. That animal's inside of him the whole time. That's
Yeah.
actually great call. That's a great call.
So then the other guy has to be so for Piven. Do you know who I thought of for Piven to replace Jeremy Piven was John Mulaney
Oh,
because he can be like a
yeah,
snarky, like
yeah.
sarcastic. Like I think he could really be funny with it. You know?
That guy definitely gets thrown in a dumpster. You know what I mean?
Oh,
When he's
yeah. He
20.
was. You could totally see him being picked on, and now coming back at people. Totally
All right.
right. Then for so this is I had a thought for Vince Vaughn's character, right? So Beanie, and I wanted to go with like a kind of like a unknown guy so much. So there's this show, and it used to be on it was called The Late Late Show with James Corden, right? You know it, you love
Hmm.
it. I
I'm aware.
fucking adore that show, right? I absolutely adored that show. It's not on anymore, and I really, really loved it, right? One of the co-head writers for that show, who became like a sidekick co-host almost, his name was Ian Carmel, right? And when the show started, he weighed like 350 pounds. He lost like 100 something pounds while on the show. He became a massive part of the show during COVID because they couldn't have an audience, and he became like a sidekick. And he was just so funny, right? But he was also like really kind of charismatic in his own way. So for Vince Vaughn's character Beanie, you have to be super charismatic. You have to be really quick witted, you know. And I just thought like this guy, Ian Carmel, was just, he nailed it, you know, absolutely nailed it, you know.
So I don't know Ian Carmel that well. I will check out his stuff, but like he have like a ringmaster quality? You know what I mean? Like he's got to be the guy who like is able to keep the circus on the rails.
Oh yeah, and he's like, you know, super like you could see him being like, "Oh, this guy knows everybody," kind of thing, you know?
Okay. All
Yeah,
right. Listen, Maddie, that's that one's a little out there. I'm not
yeah.
saying
It
it's
was a sleeper.
wrong.
He's a sleeper. He's a sleeper pick, you know.
Okay. I will dive into his work. Um,
And then I'm really struggling for Luke Wilson's Mitch, right? Because it has to be a guy that was like thought things were going right, and then we find out he was out working, and then he comes home and his wife's about to have a gangbang. And
Oh,
I legit thought of Shane Gillis to play Mitch.
see, I actually have a better suggestion.
Oh, please.
Yeah, Burn Podcasting.
Oh, I mean, that's art imitating life, is it not?
uh, Gillis, right? So you would have Gillis as your, I mean, kind of your straight man.
But
Um,
he could also be fun, but he might be too funny for that. But he could add something like yeah, no, Luke Wilson didn't have any one-liners that stole the show. You know what I mean? But like I don't know. I don't know. I
no,
don't
listen,
know.
I think you're onto something. Did you see Gillis's show on Netflix? Did you see Tires?
Oh, but that's the other thing. Gillis and Stavros are already in tires together, you know?
Yeah, and I think Gillis did that like that was his own deal. No, I actually kind of like Gillis as a straight man in that because I can see like of all the guys who are like, oh, I got home and there was my wife for the gangbang and I went fuck it in the most natural kind of way of like, all right, well, fuck it. Like I don't give a shit about anything anymore.
You know who else is someone who could play it, who could play the straight man, who could probably throw in a good one line here or there, and he's a Philly guy, Miles Teller. Because they got to be good looking, but not super. You know what I mean? Like, I really think Miles Teller could do it too.
Listen, I think and I don't want to recast your recast, but Miles Teller seems like the natural Vince Vaughn to me. Miles Teller seems like a beanie to me. He seems like the guy who's out on a limb, but trying to get everybody on the same page.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That role might be not enough for Teller to do. Teller might do too much there. I think Luke Wilson was really good there because he was just like, I'm going to play off these maniacs.
Yeah.
Um, well, now I'm shitting on your recast. I'm not trying to do that.
So you think you need someone stronger to play because Vince Vaughn was basically an unknown going in. All he had was charisma because he was all charisma in Swingers and he was all charisma in Made, right? So
Yeah.
like all he had for this role was charisma. And I'm telling you, this Ian Carmel guy, I just saw
Well, that's
charisma.
that's the thing. I don't know Ian Carmel well, so like maybe I'm missing that. But like
All right.
te-
Maybe, dude, maybe too, like Stephen Amell could play Mitch. You know what I
Mitch,
mean? Just like the good looking
yeah,
guy.
I think Amel is I think over Gillis or Miles Teller, I think Amel is a better choice, especially with the other guys you have cast. Because like Stabby's gonna
Stavi's
crush
gonna
it
wreck as
as
Frank.
as the
He's
tank.
gonna
Yeah,
wreck as
he's gonna
Frank.
crush. And him
Yeah.
running down the
And
street
then
naked,
Mulaney's gonna crush his as Piven, you know?
I
And
got
then
out.
I think that like I really think Ian Carmel he'll be my sleeper. If I could put someone else in as Vince Vaughn, maybe we'll throw Miles Teller in there as Vince Vaughn, like as Beanie, and he can combat with Mulaney, something along those lines. And then Luke Wilson's character, it could be a Mel, right? Like he
I
could
think
be
I think Stephen Amel's a good a good
because
a
he's
good
like
call there.
he's great. He's great, but he doesn't want to. He's not there to steal the show. Like he's letting these other guys do the heavy lifting.
He's gonna hit every line
Hit every
perfectly
line. He
and
will hit every line.
not he's not gonna steal the show. He's gonna let the big performers be big,
Yeah,
but he's gonna snipe
yeah.
everything they
He'll
leave on
put
the
in his
table.
shots. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Craig Kilborn. I also for a secondary character to fill in the character for Sean William Scott. The guy that he handled the animals
Yeah, it's in
at
your
the
neck,
party.
bro. It's in your
Yeah.
neck, dude.
It's in your fucking neck,
It's in your
man.
fucking neck, man.
So I thought something came up, Jason Momoa, to play that guy because I think he would nail it because I think he'd be like
That's
fun with it.
that's hilarious because
Yeah,
he's actually the kind of guy who should be wrangling big animals, like a really big, beefy dude who looks like he
yeah,
grew up on a farm with them. I think
yeah.
Momoa would kill that.
And then
Um,
to replace Craig Kilborn as Mark, there's Jai Courtney. Do you know who Jai Courtney is?
I do know who Chad Courtney is.
Yeah, he's this Australian actor. He's like this good. It could be him Or I
He
also
pl-
thought of like Luke Evans, just like a good looking like they can be intimidating and good looking, like
so
that.
Jai Courtney played Captain Boomerang in both of the
Correct. The
Suicide
Suicide Squad.
Squad
Yes.
flicks. The first one that was not that great, and then the semi remake that
He's
was
also
way
he's
better.
also in American Primeval, and he's really good.
Ooh, I
And
haven't checked
he has
that
like
out
a
yet.
Western accent. He nails it. But yeah. So there you go. So okay,
Maddie, do you have a recast for
Juliette Lewis.
well, I was gonna say Luke Wilson's love interest as it goes on, but
Oh, Ellen Pompeo.
yeah,
Man, who
that's
is?
Dr. Gray, right? From Grey's Anatomy. Is that who
Yeah.
she is? Yeah, yeah. Ellen Pompeo. I mean, she's not in she like shows up 3 times and is like, that's weird. You're weird. Hey, I'm into you. So it's not a, although I think I'm
Uh,
actually more interested in your Juliette Lewis recast.
so man, okay.
Like,
Uh, I would love like I don't. It's weird. I see like, is it weird? I see like Brie Larson playing Juliette Lewis's character. Is that
that
weird?
I think Brie Larson could play either one of the characters. I think she'd rather play Juliette Lewis's character.
Well, you know what? Jennifer Lawrence can play Juliette Lewis's character, and then Brie Larson can play.
Oh, I like that. I like
Yeah.
that. Jennifer Lawrence plays Juliette Lewis's character, and then Brie Larson plays Pompeo's character.
Or I mean, one person I'm always trying to get in on everything is it could be Amelia Clark plays the love interest, the good love interest.
Be way funnier if she played Juliette Lewis's character, but I think you're right. I think you're right. I think you're right. I'm
All
right.
right, let's talk. So, Luke Wilson, who played Mitch, I'm going to recast with Stephen Amell. Then Will Ferrell, who played Frank the Tank, I'm going to recast with Stavros, right? Stavros Malakanakis, or whatever the hell you say, right? I don't know.
Stop it.
Stavi. Everybody knows Stavi. Then Jeremy Piven, who played Dean Pritchard, I'm going to recast with John Mulaney.
That's
I think will
perfect.
be great. So I have 2 thoughts for Vince Vaughn, his character Beanie. Like I said, Ian Carmel, he's a slightly unknown comedic actor who is the co-head writer on the Late Late Show. Really funny guy. I think he has the charisma to do it if we were going to go with a sleeper unknown. But as far as a known actor, I could totally see Miles Teller crushing this role and
Yep.
nailing it. Shout out Philly always. And then to recast Juliette Lewis's character Heidi, I'm going to put Jennifer Lawrence, which will be fun.
Love
And
it.
then to recast Ellen Pompeo's character Nicole, who becomes the good love interest, I'm going to put Amelia Clark because she's just the sweetest. And then for Craig Kilborn, I'm going to change it up. I'm going to recast it. You know who I'm going to put?
Who's that, Maddie?
You know who I'm going to put, Burn?
Who's that?
He's turning into a fan favorite on this show. Put Glenn fucking Powell, baby.
Oh
Glenn fucking
my
Powell.
God. Oh, Glenn Powell. We cannot listen. Hollywood cannot make a movie without Glenn Powell. We cannot recast a movie without Glenn Powell.
He's
It's
it.
He's Powell's
It's Glenn
world, and
fucking
we're
Powell.
all just living in it.
Yep. So we got Craig Kilborn. He plays Mark. I'm gonna recast that with Glenn Powell. And then my shout out secondary character, I'm gonna recast Sean William Scott character Peppers with Jason Momoa. And maybe we can have like a fun little thing with Amelia Clark and Jason Momoa too. Who
Just a
knows?
moment. Just a
Just a moment.
glance.
Just a moment in time.
Just a
That's all we've
glance.
ever wanted. Shout out to Matt Walsh, who was in both movies. Actor Matt Walsh in both movies.
Hmm.
Shout out, fan of the show, listener to the show. But that is my recasting.